Ladies and gentlemen, it has hit 32 degrees Fahrenheit here in Houston, Texas, but in the server it is nice and toasty because we are heading to Inferno. We have Mavrek taking on Nomadic Tactics, which, based on the face it flags, is a Mongolian 5-stack, but both of these rosters currently sit at 3-1. Mavrek had a rough opening matchup against the Sleepers where they did take a loss, although they did have a little bit of roster shuffles, and then were able to bounce back with 3 straight victories against Yappenhagen, Losers Q, and Ninjas and Boxer. But on the other side, like I mentioned, we have Nomadic Tactics, which have had 3 losses or 3 wins in a row, I'm sorry, to start off ESEA Season 56, but then took a loss to Ohio Meat Wagon, which, if you're familiar with North American Counter-Strike, is a little bit of a controversial team, at least in terms of Fragadelphia. But I feel like a loss to Ohio Meat Wagon is kind of expected. Nonetheless, this team is 3-1. Both of these rosters are, and Maverick's scheduled to play against Mungie Inc. this Wednesday, and then oh no, Nomadic Tactics on Wednesday is scheduled to play 6-7 Matcha Labubu. Some friendly foe or friendly faces of the Blakert_CS channel, but nonetheless, like I mentioned, it's Nomadic Tactics taking on Mavrek, or vice versa. And it's the pistol round. Mavrek have chosen the CT side after winning the knife round. And Nomadic Tactics, I'm just gonna call them the Nomads, to be completely honest. The Nomads opted for some early apartments pressure, but have immediately evacuated. They're trying to rotate over to this B site, which is interesting because Mavrek have a 4-man setup, so if Arkham isn't able to delay enough, then this B site might come free of charge. Mid push is being prepped from the side of Mavrek. Shock is able to convert 1 kill onto Red Dot Enga. I'm just going to call him Enga. Scatty is able to find JJ, and now it's a little bit of a pump of the brakes from the Nomads, but RDN rips the head of Arkham's, or off of Arkham's. Holy, English is hard right now. I'm just going to skip that thought. Pulverize swinging out towards CT isn't going to spot anyone, but there is a player towards Tree, and that's Mac. He is waiting for this push, and the Molotov might even cement his spot, but T-Mac activates, finds 2 kills, and the Nomads find their pistol round. I can't wait to convince Blake to pug after this beautiful game of Counter-Strike 2. Yeah, nice try, buddy. He thought. Also, shout out Robert Finkelberry for the 1 biddy. Oh, you can also unpin the matches being prepared message. Because it's round number 2. Nomadic Tactics have the upper hand in terms of firepower, but Mavrek are looking to fight fire with fire up towards Car. Pulverize hasn't swung yet, but popped the shot a little bit early. Enga's able to find one from Mac 10, but the exchange is happening, and the frags are going in the favor of the Nomads. It's cleanup crew for RDN as the Nomads find their 2nd round. And round number 3 is on the horizon. A full buy on the menu for Mavrek. A little bit lacking in terms of the nades, but nonetheless, Bernie Promod's going to buy an MP9 to try and pad some of that. Which, honestly, I don't know how much of a fan I am of that MP9 buy. Maybe an MP7, if you know, you know. Some of the new changes have had the MP7 coming all over the place, as my friend QDC said. Slow default for the Nomads early on. And JJ's kind of playing with fire with this spam, but nonetheless, it is given up. Flashbang towards Car does not push anyone off because there's no one home for the side of Mavrek. Aggressive shoulder peek. Finds a little bit of a spam. Molotov will force him back towards half wall, but the CT smoke has still landed, and there's still 2 members towards Car, so a little bit more of a problem to deal with if you're Mavrek. JJ, wow, instantly eats a lot of damage out towards apartments, but that cross smoke does deter the Nomads for the time being. They're going to regroup and prep the utility. You can see that Mac 10 starting to make its way back towards Banana. And it's all going to be on to Shock and Bernie. Bernie has an MP9 and a little bit of utility to work with. I think that's 2 flashbangs, 1 in hand at the moment. But Shock is going to be the major point of contact. You can see an information play happening towards Bracket as well from the side of Mavrek. And as soon as that flash play happens, the rotation is underway. Arkham is trying to get here to support his teammates, but he might be a little bit too late. The utility is flashing over, and Bernie is able to escape for the time being. All of these Nomad players know exactly where Bernie is, and his support is smoked off. He goes swinging wide and is able to convert one kill onto Mubagang, but not much else. Red Dot finds the trade, and it's a little bit of a pump of the brakes from Mavrek. Shock finds a great spam onto Enga, but still, this retake is being prepped. The smoke towards Coffin finally fades, and Shock is still peeking wide. He's gotten the reload off and finally has support. T-Mac goes towards Grill, rips the head off of JJ's shoulders, and it's a 3v2. Arkham's posted on the wrong direction, at least it felt like, but Pulverized found 2 kills. Already in, goes and finds his trade, but a tap of the bomb for Arkham. No kit in hand, so he has to go and play the stick or go and hunt this player down, but Arkham knows there's no time, has to retreat, and that's going to be a 3rd round for the Nomads. What felt like a strong retake for Mavrek suddenly just kind of dismounted because RDN was really just waiting to strike, at least in terms of that Coffin position, and RDN is even going to hear the saving rifle of Arkham, but it won't matter. Not enough time to collect it, and the drop is underway. 3 rounds in a row for Nomadic Tactics. And not really a lot of money for Mavrek. MP9's being bought on the side of Shock and JJ, but rifles will be in hands for Arkham and Bernie. I actually think Arkham dropped the saved M4A1S to Pulverize, now that I'm thinking about it. Maybe a little bit of a misplay from the side of Mavrek. Phase smoke into second top mid smoke. Nonetheless, RDN is going to be too keen to it. Jumps onto the ledge, gets that information, and pops a flash through mid, which actually pops a little bit of a reaction out of Arkham. And actually forces Pulverize to stay now that I'm thinking, or now that a little bit of time has expired. It finds its mark. I believe that's the first big boom of the match on a Mubagang, but look at that. JJ's struck out of bedroom. He's found T-Mac asleep at the wheel. Scatty's going, running him down, but can't find the trade. Mubagang has found Shock. And Bernie Promod got the trade as well, so he picks up the AK-47 for his trouble, but he's being ran down. And he has found the opening pick, and it's a foot race towards this B site. But look at this. The Nomads don't have the bombs. They're going to have to rely on this Scatty lurking player to pick it up. And you can even see this exchange towards mid does not go in favor of the Mavrek. So it's going to be a 2v3 retake, and Mavrek have an opportunity to press the agenda early on and try to find some of these players lacking. But, oh, a beautiful shot from Enga, and Arkham's left in the 1v3. He has to go charging through the CT smoke, but Enga spams away. It doesn't allow it. It's a 4th round in a row for the Nomads. And the tactics are on display. About $3,500 across each of the Mavrek members. So it'll be an upgraded pistol buy. And the Nomads have to be a little bit keen to this, because if they get too aggressive towards brackets or even towards banana, then the stack that I'm feeling from Mavrek might pan out against them. Basement plus early flashbang from the Mavericks. No aggression behind it, though. Just going to be looking for apartments control. It's a patient round from the Nomads. Understandably, getting aggressive into our long hauls. Find Shock, but the double peek finally comes in. Mavrek with 47 for the trouble, but the beef defender has fallen, and the Nomads are going to burrow themselves in. The bomb should go down relatively quickly as well. The rotation from Mavrek. I'm interested to see if Shock is actually going to try and save this AK-47, and by the looks of it, he will. Arkham's going to be kind of an alarm system up towards brackets, and it's going to just kind of be a save from the side of Mavrek. I would like to see them go for a little bit more exits towards bottom mid at the end of this round, but still, plenty of time to work with, at least until the bomb ticks away. Ardian's biting off a little bit more than he could chew. Does hit the floor. JJ's able to recover the AK-47, and Mubagang won't be able to catch him. So that's another rifle recovered for the side. Maverick. The Nomads aren't going to give too much of a chase as they know the value of what's in their hands. It's the 5th round on the board for Nomadic Tactics, and Mavrek have yet to find an opening. Tactical timeout does come in. Feels like Mavrek need to get a little bit more of the communication going. I talked about it a little bit earlier that we saw the phase smoke down bottom mid as well as a top bracket smoke, which felt like a little bit of that lack of coordination and maybe lack of communication from the side of Mavrek. And realistically, one of those smokes could have been used towards that B defense and could have been used to delay that push. But that is not what we saw, as the Nomads were able to just kind of slowly pick apart the default of Mavrek, whether that's through long haul and finding information off of a death and just trying to all-out brawl towards B, or whether that's even trying to draw rotation off of individual picks out towards Scar. The Nomads have been able to manipulate the Mavericks how they want. Heavy mid-play from the side of the Nomads. Fast bracket flash. Arkham's going to be forced backwards, but T-Mac is going to lead the charge up towards lane. His back is turned towards Pulverize, but has already made it in towards sight. But Pulverize doesn't activate until Red Dot Enga finds his way out towards balcony. Scatty finds the trade. It's a 3v3, so somehow Mavrek have made this even. The HP still lies in their favor as well, so time ticking away. 2 members of Mavrek going towards brackets. But JJ has that AWP. I don't know how I feel about the AWP working in towards bracket. But nonetheless. We're currently in slow motion. Not sure what's going on, but flash going out towards brackets, and it does not hit its mark. Shock's able to turn around. I think a little bit of actual technical difficulties from Face It, maybe. This is gonna be a crazy round to come. Oh, we're back. The timescale's back. Everything was fine on our end, but Face It somehow put us into slow-mo, and so the retake now finally happening. Bernie Promod dropped down to 3 HP. The Molotov forces T-Mac to reposition, but Scatty finds JJ. T-Mac finds Bernie, and Shock's in the 1v2, but he can't find anything as it's a meat grinder from the Nomads. I have no idea. Broad is even asking me what the hell just happened. While I was giving the slow-mo cast, you might have even seen we were checking the timescale in the console in the bottom left. And everything looked fine. So that's our issue right there. Hey, Graham, Exploding, you should copy-paste that and send that to me in DM so I can DM that to Illuminati. Well, nonetheless, we're gonna get a little bit of some tech support going for Face It. So round number 7 is underway. Bernie Promod's found an early kill. T-Mac has hit the floor, but Bernie's looking for a re-aggression for his banana. There's no supporting flash, but it's a great bait and switch. Bernie's able to capitalize on the intention grab, but can't capitalize on the heat check. Finds 2, and then finally hits the floor. So utility's being shuffled out towards banana. Red Dot gonna drop that smoke out towards CT, but a perfectly timed delay smoke from Shock. Delay smoke will fade before the CT smoke, so there's a little bit of an opportunity for the Nomads to bust in, but you can even see, I believe that's already in all the way up towards brackets already, trying to take advantage of this split attention, but it's all going to rely on Pulverize, and you can see he's getting a little bit too aggressive. Trying to shoot his corner and hits the floor early on. That's the A site cracked open for the side of the Nomads. They just have one member to find, and that's going to be JJ. Ardian's making his charge up towards Moto, but can't just yet. JJ finally activates, finds one. Can't convert the second just yet, but finally hits the shots required to take out Ardian. Tap of the bomb is hit. Red Dot is forced get off of the bomb as the Molotov finds its mark. The smoke just allows a regroup for Arkham and Shock, but Arkham goes swinging through the smoke and finds the kill. It's the donut into the breadstick for Mavrek, but it might be a little bit too late. 6 rounds on the board for Nomads, so at the most, Mavrek can tie us up going into the second half, and that's not, I feel like, not where you want to be going into the T side. Olive Garden breadsticks, never too late. It is indeed never too late for the Olive Garden breadsticks. I hate to rub on a soft spot from the Mavrek side, but every time I see Jackro's Twitch name, it's Jackro Live. I see Jacker Olive, Gachr, and then Olive. Can't lie. Early utility damage going in favor of the Nomads. Not quite a big boom. I honestly think it was a Molotov, but a flashbang just narrowly misses its mark. Gang finds the kill on towards Bernie, but the Molotov tickles his toes away, and he hits the floor. Pulverized finds the kill onto RDN. There's another player in T-Mac just waiting for any more contact up towards brackets, but the Nomads are trying to reposition and are going to try and re-hit towards A. You can see Scatty has a very advanced position up towards Long Hall. He's just waiting for a little bit of a panic reposition, but as soon as Pulverized hits the floor, he's going to try push the agenda. JJ finally has support from Arkham, so he can play his advantage a little bit longer. Arkham finds 2 great kills, has to whip out the USP, but a little bit of a heat check in my eyes does lead to his demise. Tap of the bomb. Red Dot left on 18 HP, but the nade being prepped, and it's not quite a big boom. Misses the mark just narrowly, but Shock and Red Dot in the 1v1. Bomb being punched in towards default. Shock trying to call the bluff, but it will be the numbers punched in, and Shock can't connect the shots. 73 HP to work with. Red Dot only needing a push of the wind, but look at this reposition from Red Dot Enga going all the way up towards Long Hall. And now it's on to Shock to call the bluff. He's going to drop off of default, tap the bomb, but Shock is so convinced that Red Dot is out towards lane. Tap of the bomb once more. Red Dot's going to go for the swing, but Shock finally gets it, goes on the bomb, and there is plenty of time for him to stick this. It's going to be a 2 rounds for Mavrek, as they finally been able to connect some of the key shots in my eyes. I feel like some of the banana contact has been lacking a little bit as these rounds have gone on, but at the same time, they have been able to connect the shots when it counts. Jacker Olive, the Applebee's connoisseur. Interesting buy from the side of the Nomads. 1 MAC-10, plenty of utility. I guess just a little bit of a mixed buy to get everyone on the same page in terms of money. See, after the investment, mainly everyone's at around $2,000 to $2,500. Flashbang's all going to be prepped up through mid. Arch Smoke as well. Mubagang's going to lead the charge up towards lane, but just narrowly has his attention grabbed by Pulverized. Pulverized hits the floor at the end of the day, and the A side is being overwhelmed by Tech 9s and the Nomads. Going back to a little bit of barbaric tactics, I guess you could say. And just brute forcing their way in towards that A site. A little bit of lack of the protocol from the side of Mavrek, but either way, still a strong display of coordination from the side of Nomadic Tactics as well. Saw the balcony player delay the exit just a little bit, as it feels like the last couple of times the Nomads have tried to hit A, that balcony player has activated just a tad bit too early and given up a frag right when they don't need it. And that little bit of pressure out of Long Haul can really be the make or break, at least in terms of the attack towards the A site. Finally, it's explosion point. And Banana is underway. Bernie Promod is going to be the only one to hit the floor. And Nomadic Tactics convert a convincing mixed buy, I guess you could say. As we mentioned, upgraded pistols, utility, and a MAC-10. A single MAC-10 at that. Man stack towards banana. Oh, red dot spotted. Shock running away, but it's a perfect bait for Burning Parmod to activate. He finds the MAC-10 and is able to make his escape, but the rifle did get recovered. Actually, never mind. Shock didn't even go down. It was the pistol of Arkham. CT Smoke being prepped for the side of Nomadic Tactics. They're getting a little bit too aggressive in my eyes. You can even see a reposition coming in from Shock. And as that CT Smoke does find its mark, Shock just kind of is debating, it feels like, this rotation back towards this A site. Look at this. Nomadic Tactics just sticking to their guns. Trying to continue this push out towards the B site, but as soon as that CT smoke is dropped... Oh, look at this. Beautiful. This has to be a Bernie Pro Mod call. This has to be him just solely calling out to his team that they can stay towards this A site, and you can see they're going to be rewarded for it. Movie Gang is leading this charge still. It's going to be the pistols of Mavrek that have to defend this A site, and they have the numbers advantage. JJ's able to convert 2 kills, but now has 1 more member to find. And before he's able to defend against the bomb, but 2 bullets in the 5.7 and 4 health on the bar. It won't happen. It's an expensive round for the side of Nomadic Tactics, but either way, Mavrek, I feel like that's the best way you can lose a round. What's up, Shakes? Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate the kind words as well. Hope you're having a great night. 7 Cinema. Oh, that might be a emote I don't have on. Caster doesn't have 7 TV emotes. GG. Aggressive banana take from Nomadic Tactics. Counter Molotov is immediately going to put a halt to it, though. Interesting CT smoke. Is that a CT smoke that still lands on the boot? No, it's just a little bit deep, so there's a gap to play in front for Shock, but I feel like Nomadic Tactics have to be expecting this. Shock is going to try and make a cross in towards sight, but not without being taxed. Drop down to 17 HP. Pulverize now trying to make his opportunity in towards Boiler is punished by T-Mac. What a timing. JJ still remains up towards lane, so he can put a halt to this round, but he has to do the unthinkable, and it will not come to fruition. It's all on to Shock, 17 HP, and this is not going to be a round they're converting. Shock able to convert one on towards T-Mac, recovers the AK-47, but has all of the Nomads coming to charge him down, and finally hits the floor. Nomads find 9. Didn't expect much of a hunt, but it did come to fruition. So on the last round of the first half, Mavrek dropped down to minimal economy, are going to have a tough decision to make. Invest into the rifles and subpar utility, or try to invest full out into the SMGs. Play the close angles. Try to play the delay. You can see money. Wait, yo, can we go back to that? Hold on. We had an ensemble of rifles in spawn, so clearly money not an issue for the side of Nomads, and they're expecting a little bit of a light buy from the side of Mavrek. You can even see they're playing a little bit of a patient default. Banana aggression not going to be at the forefront of their minds, just kind of trying to maintain banana control, but RDN in the meantime takes out Pulverize. up towards Arch side as JJ collects RDN and is immediately forced into retreating. Arkham finds one through the smoke off of a beautiful spam, but it's a 4v3. The HP advantage technically leans in favor of the Nomads, and the bomb is posted towards Banana. So as teammate takes contact, that is going to be the bomb spotted on the minimap, and Bernie Promod still has a safe position towards top sandbag, and he dropped off, so he's going to be caught out on the rotation. Shock is able to find a great trade, but now has to make his retreat, and now has to mount this defense. Has a flash in hand, but that is it. He lets it fly high, but T-Mac dodges it, and still Shock awaits towards second oranges. He has to be cautious of the AWP, but it's not even that will take him out. Red Dot Enga makes it sing from second oranges, and it's all onto JJ. Has one kill in the round currently, and a smoke to work with. There's an opportunity for him to smoke this front site and try to find an isolated duel, but the op reigns true. Red Dot Enga converts 2 kills late in round number 12 and puts double digits on the board for Nomadic Tactics as we head into the second half. And as I mentioned, feels like this is not the position you want to be in if you're going to the T side, if you're Mavrek. What's up, Naz? Naz, showing a little bit of frustration in chat, huh? Understandably so. Feels like it would be rough to see the team. Blaker, tell these fucks to lock in before I come back and show them how it works. If I had push-to-talk capabilities in the game, I would definitely do that for you. I'm a fan of Mavrek as much as you are. Red Dot Enga is able to convert onto Arkham. Bernie Promod is good for a trade, but it's not towards Banana. It's going to be up towards Brackets. The charge is being led by JJ. He flies out, finds Scatty. T-Mac is trying to mount a little bit of a defense, but the shots aren't connecting, and Shock runs him down. Pulverized found his own, and it's all on the Red Dot Enga, the sole opener of round number 13, and he's found Pulverized asleep at the wheel, so he finds the head free of charge. Bernie Promod and Shock have a little bit of a crossfire awaiting, but it's all on the Red Dot to try and break it. Shock gives a little bit of a jiggle to try and grab the attention of Enga, but still, Enga's not committing too much. Bernie gets active, and a little bit of a spot split the attention. It's 3 rounds on the menu for Mavrek. Heading into round 14, we do see... Ooh. T-Mac is giving us a little bit of the Sharpie experience. Breaking that Mag 7 out. But interesting positioning from the side of Nomadic Tactics. 4-man stack towards this B site. And T-Mac is aggressive and towards long haul. Has his attention kind of split as he hasn't cleared all of bedroom, but as he jiggles in and spots nobody home, he's going to make a retreat towards lane, and rightfully so, as he's the sole member in defense. And as the Arch Smoke finds its home, T-Mac finds his kill on towards JJ. The push is being prepped, and T-Mac finds a second. He's able to... some beautiful movement on display as well. T-Mac hastily gets away, but look at this. The 2 kills from T-Mac has prompted Mavrek to force their way in towards this B site, and it's going to be the upgraded pistols they have to face next. Shock is able to find the first one to move a gang, but still, Red Dot awaits towards Booth, and he finally activates. The USP isn't necessarily needed as Shock and Pulverized found their own, but the rotation of the, well, was a Mag 7, but now a Mag 10, is underway towards Banana. Scatty has a Desert Eagle, about to peek out of church, but Pulverized is keen to the angle, and Shock should be aware of this swing for thrill. Pulverized rips the head from Scatty's shoulders. He will find a second out towards CT, and it's a 4th round on the menu for Mavrek. They're trying to convert this momentum, and this is feeling pretty good if you're on the side of Mavrek, but they have to contest against the rifles of the Nomads now. And Arkham with a little bit of DC is going to give us a technical pause. Why is Bernie in chat? LOL. Hmm? Bernie stream sniping confirmed? Bernie stream sniping with CSTV delay? Bro's stream sniping strats they did 2 rounds ago. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Production is also, which also I didn't give a shout out to production and when we got started. Shout out Exploding behind the camera. But Exploding is letting me know that it's more like a 3-minute delay after the little bit of slow motion we had going on earlier. And so at the end of the day, I don't know if there's too much information to be gathered. Arkham still has not reconnected to the server. So maybe a super sub needing to be called in, but as I say that, Arkham reconnects. As I mentioned, Mavrek now have to contest against the rifles of Nomadic Tactics, and even then, T-Mac is going to be a little bit reserved in terms of his buy, MP9, HE grenade, and smoke. Which does leave a little bit of questions to be answered for me. Feels like that investment could be better used. Even with some head armor, maybe even the defuse kit, maybe a little bit more, but also possible that T-Mac is AFK at this moment in time. But he better not be laying any eggs because the round is unfolding. It's round number 15 between Mavrek and Nomadic Tactics if you're just joining us. And it's been a relatively one-sided first half, but Mavrek looking to turn around immediately. And R.I.P. Joe the Chicken. If my Hero Shock doesn't get 20 ER, doesn't get a 20er, I'm gonna crack his girlfriend. Ah! That is, well, you heard it here first, folks. 20 kills minimum. Oh, he doesn't have a girlfriend, in parentheses, he says. Okay. Fair enough. Well, when Counter-Strike is your life, you shouldn't have time for a woman. You should be focusing on the strat book, focusing on the util, focusing on the refrag warm-ups. And me, myself, and I technically prefer FCL. If you know, you know. And with 30 seconds left in round 15, Mavrek haven't really extended much map control. They've thrown a deep arch smoke, which does technically lock in Mubagang to trying to play for information towards brackets, but the execute's happening towards B. Bernie Chroma needs a flashbang, and he's looking the wrong direction. RDN is prepped towards pool. Now, there's already 2 members rotated in. It's a meat grinder from CT for the side of the Nomads, and the last 2 members of the Mavericks are low HP. Red Dot Enga is going to try and rush in, but Mubagang shuts it down. Red Dot finds the second. And what was an attempted delay game from the side of Mavrek was just kind of immediately shut down off of the back of no real pressure towards brackets, in my eyes. That's what I'm saying. Yo, I'm not going to call Arkham a bum, because I don't know Arkham, but Arkham has a kid, apparently, is what Naz is saying. Delay of game penalty, offense, -1 round. What is this, football? T-Mac going for an all-out blitz down mid, though. Able to find Arkham asleep at the wheel. 4 members of the Mavericks wait in towards long haul, and the push is happening. RDN has free reign to the heads and shuts it all down. We have 12 on the board for the side of Nomadic Tactics, and Mavrek have one last shot, one opportunity Will they capture it? Or will they let it slip? Round 17 unfolds. Face smoke towards bottom mid. Two-man setup up towards banana. Molotov deep as well as an HE to kind of slow any more pushing, but RDN going for this aggressive push, aggressive peek. Red Dot is here to support it, and it's a meat grinder. Red Dot finds 3 great kills with the AK-47, able to wrangle that spray beautifully. And now it's all on JJ and Pulverize. JJ finds C-Mac asleep at the wheel, but they need 4 more to prevent Nomadic Tactics from finding their 4th win in ESEA Season 56. As the nade breaks the bottom banana smoke. Nomadic Tactics know that they have full control over this bomb. Re-smoke as well towards bottom banana. And Scatty is going hunting out towards top mid. Actually looking for a little bit of a rotation and kind of cautious that a player could have slipped past the gaze, but those smokes remain for the side of Nomadic Tactics. There's still an entrance into the surround if you're Mavrek, but you have to isolate the duels properly and have to play as a team. Red Dot's going to take this first bit of contact. Pulverize found the first kill and is able to convert a second, but now has to find Scouty top mid and cannot convert it. It's Nomadic Tactics in a 13-4 victory, moving on to being 4-1 in their ESEA Season 56 season. However, I do believe this is a little bit of a story of the pre-match lobby, if you want me to be completely honest. We do see a little bit of a one-sided pre-match room. RDN is 812 on the Face It leaderboards currently. So, nonetheless, I think there was a little bit of shortcomings in terms of the game plan for Inferno for Mavrek. I feel like there was some great initial game plan up towards Banana, but there was a little bit of lack of aggression towards Brackets on the T side that I think really could have solidified some of the rotations from the opposition. So although they do take the loss, I think there are some key lessons that can be learned from the Mavrek side. So commiserations to them, but for us over here on the Blakert_CS channel, that is going to be it for now. We will be live back here in 1 hour's time to cover Locally Hated versus Counter Legends, so make sure you check that one out. And we hope you enjoyed the stream tonight. If you like what you saw, make sure to drop a follow down below and make sure to check out our handsome producer behind the camera, Mr. at exp. Exploding. And without further ado, we'll catch you guys in an hour. Custody, yes, I might just jump out this lifestyle ain't cheap. Been honest to so many